In an ideal world, I go to the Olympics, I get gold. So then I center myself again. And I'm like, okay, I need to stop trying to dance the way people want me to dance. And this is my thing about a DJ. If you play a song that just touches me, I'm either gonna do super good or I'm gonna do super bad. He steps on the floor, everybody screaming, everybody. And I'm like, oh, all right. Like, so I'm kind of like getting energy from that because I wanna that's what most excites me about a battle is when I know I'm at the bottom.
You've entered 2024 as a married man. How does it feel?
Your man is blessed. Your man is feeling wonderful. Your man is I'm a new man. No, actually, like just being married and everything, that joining the married life, uh, things have been a lot more easier as far as like just being focused and having that support that I just know is there for me 100%. Even though I've been knowing that, it's just I don't know. Being married is just a whole nother level of that. Uh, but yeah, it's a good feeling.
Would you say it gives you that extra kick, that extra motivation?
Yeah, for sure. There's a whole extra level of motivation and drive that goes into this because now it's like for sure I can't just do things for myself. I mean, I was never the type to do things for myself in the first place. I always had other people that's either relying on me or need me to do something. So I always thought about others, which helps me, which was my driver, is like trying to help other people, being in a position where I could help others. And then now doing like being married is like I have to be able to help myself, help others, help my future self, my future family, like whatever. Like there's a lot that goes into it when it just whenever you're married, it kind of puts your mind in the drive
Yeah.
and has you thinking a little differently.
Yeah, there's some people that I know that are married, and you get the sense they're now half in, half out, almost like they
Mhm.
can't live their life as they should. They're not able to compete the same way as they normally do. Is that the same
Yeah.
way that you feel? Or because there's so much happening this year, you can't really think of things like that?
Yeah, no, there's no halfway in everything I do, I'm fully involved in. And I have that full support system from my wife, my friends, my family. So yeah, I'm locked in, focused, even more than before. It's honestly, I feel like I'm really gonna for the first time tap into breaking 100%. I never done that before, where I'm trying to put my business aside and like I'm not in school. I'm not trying to work on my business. I'm trying to have other people. I'm trying to delegate so I don't have to focus on that and worry about that. So yeah, for the first time, I'm getting to that position where I'm like I'm gonna be just Jeffro right now. I don't wanna be a business owner. I don't wanna be a this, that. I'm Jeffro right now. So so it's a good feeling to know that I'm able to do that.
So, how are your weeks looking like in that case?
Still packed.
Like in terms of
I'm still
training and everything, in terms of like the way that you're working on things, because I know the last time we spoke, you were coming off of injuries as well.
yeah. So and it's kind of getting to this. I'm kind of getting to this position where I'm fully an athlete, where I follow protocols as an athlete would, as far as like my health. Let's say I'm doing recovery, I'm doing mobility work, I have my strength and conditioning, and that's besides training, sessioning, and practicing. These are all these like all other areas of my performance that can help my performance. That's not actually me getting into breaking. Uh, so I spend at least 5 hours a day just on my health, some type of physical activity where there's rehab for my shoulder, get my shoulder strength up. As far as my hamstring and my groin too. So that's something I'm always been trying to just strengthen, and I'm feeling stronger. But I incorporate that into my routine, my daily routine. So there's shoulder, there's hamstring, there's groin, and then there's a mobility portion where I do some yoga as well. So I add that into my routine. So I spend some time doing some yoga to help me open up my shoulders, open up my hips, and strength and conditioning, which is it's a whole nother story. And then practice. I'll try to end my nights off or my days with a practice, even if it's a slow practice, nothing too intense. I don't want to rush. You know, this is a marathon more than a sprint. So a lot of breakers get hurt whenever they rush and they try to be the best. They try to be the best. You're gonna be the best. You need to be able to recover to be the best. But instead, we get on this upward sprint where we're just trying to practice, 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 5 hour practices every day. No, that's just gonna hurt your body. So I learned the hard way. So now I'm I'm moving a little more cautious.
That's good, bro, because you do find that there are some people that don't have a balance. They think that it's just hardcore all the time, always training, and then they think any type of recovery, then they're slacking. But then you
Mhm.
do hear people like there's different protocols about your rest. You have to take your time off. I don't know if
Exactly.
you get it this way, but if I rest a lot, I get agitated, and it's like I have to keep doing something.
Yeah.
I have to keep working on something.
Exactly, and I'm exactly the same way. I remember I was with one of my friends, and he was like, "Yeah, let's like rest. Like, why you stay at like why are you still active?" And he was like, "Why are you so insecure about resting?" I'm
Insecure.
like, I don't know. I just knowing what's out there. Like, yes, I want to be better, but at the same time, knowing that I have people kind of riding on me, so but they're not intentionally adding pressure or anything. It's just like family, and I'm seeing what I want for them. So it's like intentionally I am putting pressure on myself, but then at the same time I'm learning to live with that pressure where I'm not feeling anxious or I'm not feeling like I have to go hard every day. It's like the slow increments, those wins, those slow, small wins are the things that's going to help me get to where I am, where I need to be to help them out. So I'm doing a little better. I'm doing a little better about it, but I'm trying to rest. I'm trying to rest. And if not, I do something small like yoga, just something relaxing where I'm still active, but I'm not exerting myself like crazy. So,
If we're
uh,
talking about resting, I'm guessing that you don't have a lot of other obligations this year with the focus on the Olympics.
exactly. So that's my goal is just to focus 100% on the Olympics and everything around it that comes with it. So uh because a lot of times my schedule, I'm on my emails talking to like these producers of documentaries, news outlets, trying to schedule like flights and figure out there's a lot of things that goes on like with just managing yourself as a breaker that it consumes. It takes a lot of time. Even today, it's 1 p.m. right now. So far, all I had was breakfast, and that was like 30 minutes ago.
I'm sorry, bro.
In the afternoon. So it's just like I wake up and the day just go. And sometimes I'm like, how did I get here? Like, what am I like? I feel like I've been working, but I haven't been working. That's what it feels like in a sense. Like I've been working, but I haven't been working. So sometimes your days just go by. You just gotta find time to just put everything aside and just focus on yourself.
Of course. So now, if
Uh,
we think about the Olympics this year, you've got the qualifier series events. I think they're coming up in like a couple of months or so. What needs to happen for you to qualify in the Olympics? Like from your training, your rest, your mindset. What needs to happen?
there's a lot. There's a lot happening right now, and I just think I have to remember why I started breaking in the first place because I feel like with a lot of these competitions, we start to put ourselves into a box and say, I need to do this to win, or I need to do this to earn a spot. But then when you think about it, it's like I've been doing this for years. That's what got me in this place. I don't need to try to change up what I'm doing. Uh, I got here believing what I believed about breaking and moving the way I move with breaking. Uh, so I actually had to get into that mindset of let me not conform to the style of a breaker nowadays where you have to do this, you have to do that. I'm just kind of in my own lane. And if the judges like it, the judges like it. If they don't, they don't. So and I'm okay with that. It's just I just want to be true to myself and I don't want to get burnt out at the end of this whole Olympic journey and then I'm just not in breaking. Like I don't want to fall out of breaking.
Hmm.
And I hear it a lot. A lot of people get drained. They get drained from their sport or discipline and it's hard for them to enjoy it. So I'm like, nah, I came into this as it being a passion. I don't want to leave with it being something I just like regret or dread or feel some type of way about. So just centering myself and remembering why I started it. That's the main thing I need to focus on and just build off of that.
How much actually have you had to adapt to the judging system? Because I've heard of different dancers that they went in and doing what they know won them different world championships, and it just hasn't worked out in the way that they thought it would.
Hmm. It's interesting because I tried not to adapt. I tried not to adapt. Sometimes I find myself doing things just like, oh, let me check off this box. just because I know the judges might be looking for this. But sometimes that's why I mess up. Sometimes that's why I fall short. So I kind of look at the trends in my rounds. So where I fall in the judging system, let's say every event, one event I might be up here, second event I might be up here, third event I might be up here. So I find the commonalities of each event and figure out, okay, what is my strength in this? What do I need to do, or what do I need to just preserve or eliminate? What am I adding to it that's just hurting me? Then I center myself again, and I'm like, okay, I need to stop trying to dance the way people want me to dance and just do me. So I think starting off, starting off, I try to follow the system, like follow a pathway, and I don't even know what to call it, but some type of roadmap to winning, you know, through the judging criterias. But now I'm just, if you like it, you like it. You get whatever you get is what you're gonna get. You know, you're not gonna see any deviation from my current like style or my current plan. You know, I'm just gonna stay focused on myself.
Is that at all similar to the advice that you've gotten from Team USA? Or are they sort of in agreement with you about the way that you're approaching it?
I feel the coaches, I mean, they care for us. They have their way, their philosophies in breaking, what makes you a better breaker or what makes you a well-rounded breaker of whatever, or their own philosophy of how to win. And I feel I do have a little like a different opinion, like a different perspective and approach from some. Uh, but I feel like overall we're still on the same page. I get what they're saying, but in a different way. Like instead of somebody saying, hey, you need to add more foundation. I don't want to add foundation. I'd rather add my own twist of foundation. So it's not really the same, but it is the same. It's kind of getting that same result where you're doing trans foundation, but it's a whole nother level of foundation. And it's kind of hard to explain it, but you can see it whenever I get down.
Yeah. No, I also see that. Like I see that you're not going through the motions of a 6 step here, 3 step here, a bit of a sweep here, 8 ball, this and that. Like, because I can tell that with whatever moves that you've got, it's yours. And not a lot of people can say that. And I guess people compare it to the silhouette. If you see the dancer behind the silhouette, you should know who they are, type of thing.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. And I hope people could see that in my style, you know? Uh, yeah, because there's a lot that goes to it, and you have to be your own individual. You can't be a duplicate. You have to be the prototype, you know? You have to be the prototype. And people will try to replicate your style, your dance, but at the same time, man, there's just something about having your own style that it just feels good. It feels good. You could tell who's replicating and who's biting, but
Of
um,
course. And
so-
then talk to me about your experience at the Red Bull BC One last year as well. It was amazing to see you there. You definitely did your thing. How
yeah,
was the whole? Because I believe you're out there a week early to deal with a lot of obligations. Like, how was the whole experience for you?
yeah. No, it was a great trip. By far, probably my favorite uh experience being in France. Uh, I just I was able to meet a lot of breakers, and because usually I'm one of those breakers that barely go out. Like as far as like go to events. You're not gonna catch me at events as much. I'm real specific with my time and where I want to exert my energy. And so being in front of all these breakers for the first time is like it was just different. It was a whole different realm because I'm usually seeing them online. They usually see me online. It's not like I'm there in all these World Series events uh, outside of the Olympic, I guess, pathway. But so being in that breaking environment that's not an Olympic event type was just new. It was kind of new to me, because other than that, the breaking events, like the Olympic breaking events, I've probably only been to maybe three international events. Like like for one-on-ones, I don't go out as much. So um it was good experience. And the battles. I was prepped. Like I was so ready. I was so ready to go. And then whenever the music started, it was a beat that I was just feeling. And this is my thing about a DJ. If you play a song that just touches me, I'm either gonna do super good or I'm gonna do super bad. I'm like, I'm gonna crash. I'm like, you're gonna get something out of this. I'm gonna go so hard, I'm gonna crash or I'm gonna do something amazing. So, uh, but whenever they played the song, I was feeling it. And me feeling it the way I felt it, I wasn't able to pace myself. So first round, if I had a energy meter, this is 100. I depleted like 70% of it. And like just going, like just feeling it, not controlling my breathing, just getting hyped at the environment because it was a beautiful stadium. Uh you look around you, the fans are cheering, screaming, and I like being on the position where I have to win everybody over. So I'm going against the the super was that like the town hero, like the
Yeah, the
hometown.
hometown hero. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Khalil.
Khalil. So he just won the last chance cipher, and now he's going into it with a lot of energy. He steps on the floor. He steps on the floor. Everybody's screaming. Everybody. And I'm like, oh, all right. Like, so I'm kind of like getting energy from that because I wanna like that's what most excites me about a battle is when I know I'm at the bottom, you know, and I know they're kind of going against me and I have to win them over. So I go up there, people are cheering, but it wasn't as how it was for Khalil. And even at the beginning, like first round, he went out, he killed it, of course, hitting signatures. I came at him, I like did a burn, like cut off his head, threw it in the crowd. And I was like, yeah, like, why aren't you cheering? Like, come on, cheer, like cheer for you got his head. So, but then at the same time, so it was like a response. So immediately Khalil, he tried to respond and burn me back. And then I went to my round, did some tops. I was just releasing like everything that I was feeling, I was just like pouring out there. Dancing, hit the floor, hit my round. I did like I don't even know how long the round was. Probably like a 50-second round. So I'm like at 30% as soon as I finished. By the time I did second round, I probably recovered to maybe 65% of my energy. Like if I was at 100, I depleted 70%, so I'm at 30. I probably got to like 65 for the second round. I did second round and I tried to like conserve some energy. But I knew that first round already took a toll. I'd used too much. I didn't strategize enough. So second round, it depleted even more. And then third round, I was like, I gotta give it all. I gotta give it all. So I just emptied the tank. And I didn't get the result that I wanted. Of course, I lost by 1 vote. It was a split decision. At least I think it was a split decision. I think I lost by 1 vote.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, but other than that, it was a great experience. I'd never been on a stage like that, and yeah, it was just the energy was crazy.
Was it the nerves? Did that have any impact on you? Because it just sounds like, you know, that way where sometimes like you do a regular battle anywhere in the world, it's like same shit, different weekend, you know what you're doing, and then all of a sudden it's this totally different arena, and it's like everybody dances a little differently when they're at the Red Bull BC one. I don't know what it is, but everybody dances a little differently. They either blow their load really early and then they gas out, or I don't know what happens and they just go Super Saiyan, but
Yeah,
everybody does something different.
everybody. It's that the arena, the history that that stage holds is legendary. And to be on that stage and I have people at home cheering me on, I have people everywhere cheering me on, and I'm like, it was just like I don't know, nerves. It was excitement. It was an opportunity. Sometimes you get hyped when opportunities come around, and the reason why it was different from like a Olympic event is most of the times I go to Olympic event that like we go from morning to late, like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. till 10, 11 at night. So, well, maybe I'm over exaggerating, but it's about that. It's
The
about that
long
late.
days, yeah.
It's a long day. So, uh, the expectations, everybody, the crowd isn't there like that. Like the crowd, there could be nobody in the crowd. Sometimes you have to just so you kind of it's easier to get into that groove and build up that energy. But at a stage like that, your energy's at here. Like you just can't control it. So, well, at least I couldn't. Even though I thought personally, I thought I edged it out that last round. I thought it was 2-1, but like pulling back and looking at it, I'm like, I could see why they voted for him, you know? I could see why the judge voted for him. It's not anything where I'm like, ah, I should have won. No, it's I think it could have went any way, and it was a split decision for that reason. So
So then how do you take that experience knowing that there's all eyes on you and the energy is insane? How do you take that experience to move you forward with the Olympics? Because it could be the same thing again. We don't know what it will be like. Apparently, all the tickets have been sold for the break-in. Should you make it, it's just going to be unreal. Millions of people around the world will be watching you. So how will you move forward with it?
oh yeah, no, for sure. I'm gonna have to come up with some type of routine or ritual to calm my nerves. Like, so I know for one of the Breaking for Gold events, I did breath work, which actually really helped me. I think it was at in Japan, Kirakusha. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but in Japan we had a Break for Gold last February, and yeah, I got to the finals. Uh, but doing breath work, that really helped me, like, calm my nerves because there was a crowd there, the energy was there, and I had to be able to just take that in and not get too excited. So, breath work, any other method, I just gotta really take into account, like, these things. I need this thing. Like, I know some people don't need it, but I know for me, I'm an energy guy. So if you give me energy, I'm giving you energy. If if even if I don't have energy, like if you're not giving me energy, I'm gonna find ways to get energy. And it's something that I find something to attach to that gives me energy. It could be it could be anything. It could be a music. I just listen to a track, I listen to something, I get hyped, and I'm out there and I feel it. But I'm gonna find a way to come at you right. It's just sometimes, I gotta fall back and be like, hey, contain the energy. And then when it's
Is
time,
is that
disperse it.
something that either the Monster Energy team or Team USA are able to help you with? Because I know that every Olympic team has different levels of involvement. So I don't know if that's something that they can do.
Yeah, I mean, we can. I feel like I just gotta really get together with the coaches and really be like, hey, this is actually I'm finding out this is what I need. This is what I need to excel. I need to do a little more breath work. Maybe I add that to my routine. My little 5 hour routine every day of just maintain like maintenance and making sure my body's right with the yoga, the PT, strength and conditioning, the practicing. Maybe I need to throw in some breath work. Everybody has to figure out what's good for them. For me, I know I don't dance. The way I approach battle, I don't see other breakers approaching battle the same way, and
Okay.
so I just feel everybody has their own why. Everybody has their own energy source. Everybody have their own stimulus, and whatever you need, you just got to find it, and whatever you don't need, you got to eliminate.
Well, on that note, there's only a couple of things left that I actually want to ask you. First
Yeah,
off, in an ideal world, how do you see this year working out for you? And then, secondly, why should people be tuning into the Olympics?
man, I feel in an ideal world, I go to the Olympics, I get gold, and that's just a personal goal for me. That's what I want for me. But what I want for breaking is to showcase what it's like to have like true movement freedom. Because I don't want people to watch breaking and be like, "Oh, this person is not connecting with the music. This person is doing this. He's not. They're not. There's no element of dance in it. So I want people to really understand like the essence of breaking and and if I could be that model of it, if people see it in the Olympics and they're like, "Oh, I like this guy. I like the way he moves. I like what he's feeling." And and I could tell he's feeling it too. Like he's making me feel it through his movement. So I want people to be able to relate that way and get into dancing for how the essence of breaking. So, um, and of course everybody have their own way of breaking, but this is kind of how I experience breaking. My philosophy of breaking is you have to it's a feeling first. Like it's a feeling before it's a dance, and it's a dance before the moves. Uh so the thing is you can't go straight to the moves. Like if a song is on, you don't just dismiss the song and say, blah, 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 power moves, air track. Like you gotta feel something first before you dance, before you move. Uh, so that's kind of how I move, and I kind of want people to feel the same way. So my goal is to get to the Olympics, push out breaking, educate people on breaking. Hopefully they get into breaking. If not, they get their kids into breaking because there's a lot of great life skills that come out of breaking. Uh, Being innovative, being self-dependent, and developing yourself, create something out of nothing. These are all things that I think breaking teaches you. And you probably consciously know it. Sometimes you don't know it, but you're building yourself. And I just think breaking is one of those things that even if you don't know how to do or you don't do it, I think it's good for you to at least like grab those traits that breaking like kind of uh like evoke out of people. It creates these things out of people. So I think it's a good thing to spread. Um Last thing you said was what
Why
was the
should
last thing?
people be tuning into the Olympics? It's the
I
first and maybe the last time that we're going because it's not going to be at the LA 2028 games. So why should people be watching?
I think it's exactly what you said. It's the first and the last. This will be one of those. We need a slogan for it, like for this this coming Olympic, like like it's the first and the last. Like this is something that started off underground, it's made mainstream, and it's only here for a split second. Like, how did it do this? Why did breaking even make it to the Olympics? And like just knowing that and trying to dig into why, I think that answers a lot of questions as to why people should tune in. It's like something about breaking is captivating enough to get to the Olympics. Something about breaking gathers people, catches the youth, it gets people active. You're getting creative, you're artistic, you're athletic. Like there's a lot of different things that come out of breaking. So then seeing it and being like, why is it in Olympics? How did it get there? So I think it's one of those questions that answers itself, you know. Uh, but I think everybody should tune in because it is something new. It is it is a new sport. It is a I don't know, it's just something that you could do. You don't need any equipments. A lot of people like how breaking started. You're poor. People are poor. Most of the world is poor. So you could create something out of nothing. You could do dance moves. You could improve your health mentally, physically, just through dancing. I think it's one of those things that people need to really understand. It's like this is therapy. Dance is therapy. Move your body. If you're feeling like mentally you're not feeling great, move your body. Physically, you feel like you're not feeling great, move your body. Like these are the things that people need to understand. It's like you don't need to buy dance shoes. Like you don't need to buy uh roller skates. You don't need to buy like whatever, a skateboard, anything like all these other sports and styles, you need to buy a product. When breaking, you don't need to buy a product. Go ahead and do some head spins on a concrete. But like you can do anything anywhere. So uh yeah, it's just one of those things that I think people should just tune in and figure out why. Why are we here? You know?